What's up, you guys? I'm back from my holiday vacation, but I can't stop thinking about it. I went to Canada for about a week and a half to just kind of get away from the grind, but here I am, back at it. What an awesome trip it was, though. For the Christmas holiday, I went to visit my girlfriend Ira and her family in Canada. And as soon as I stepped through the front door, it immediately felt like the vacation has started. Everything just felt so cozy, and the living room was full of Christmas decorations. Because Ira and her family are from the Philippines, we did everything according to the Filipino traditions. Over there, they celebrate Christmas on the night of the Christmas Eve, so that's what we did. We spent the whole day preparing and cooking all the food, and then in the evening, the guests started showing up. It was a very small family gathering. It was Ira and her two brothers, of course her mom Eileen and her boyfriend Dominique, and Eileen's good friend, Jay. And that's it. As soon as everything was ready, we did a little prayer and started getting food. I had to have a little bit of everything because everything was so good. You know, it's interesting. There's something about food that you either cook or you help cook that just makes it taste so much better. Even though I was real full at the end of this meal, there's no such thing as too full for desserts. And for that, we had an ice cream cake and a little something called ryzik, which is Ukrainian honey cake, one of Ira's favorite Ukrainian desserts. Afterwards, we popped these poppers, and each one had a little gift, a little trinket inside. And then came the most important part of the celebration, at least to Leon, the younger brother. And that was opening the Christmas gifts. The older brother, Tonton, was super excited about his underwear that he got.
Oh, yes! What you got?
Is that underwear?
Yes, I got underwear!
Wow, what a great present!
Dude, I'm running out of underwear and I'm wearing broken ones.
So that was a thing. And I got some Amazon monies and an awesome shirt.
Ooh, Calvin, that's my name.
It's the brand, you dummy. I picked that for you.
I
finally have a shirt with my name on it.
I got an extra gift.
In my opinion, Dominique got the coolest gift of all. But at the same time, I'm a pretty big tech nerd, so just a little biased. Just a tiny bit. I mean, who's to say that Leon's gifts, the younger brothers, weren't the coolest? Leon got a couple of Fortnite shirts and a Fortnite cup, and he was over the roof. He ran straight to the kitchen and started using his cup right away. So there's been this fun video trend in Korea lately, where a group of people gets together and asks questions to one another, and they use this little toy lie detector to detect whether the person is telling the truth or not. And if the detector, quote unquote, detects that you're lying, it actually shocks you with electricity. So, of course, we had to try it out ourselves.
Does Dominic swear more than you in the relationship? Yes
What?
or no? Dominic does. Okay. Yes. So basically, Dominic swears more, you swear less.
Let's test it.
Let's test it. If I'm gonna get a shock, this is lying, okay?
Oh, you didn't lie.
It was the truth.
It was a joke.
Whoa! Nice!
I'm telling the truth.
Papa, you tell the truth.
Did you ever cheated?
No.
Wow!
Before.
Yeah. Did you ever cheated?
No. You pushed a different button, didn't you?
No, there's just one.
Oh, truth! Wow!
Hold on. Antonio, did you ever steal money from me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh!
Are you lying or are you telling me?
He's just trying to get shocked.
Mom, your son is honest. Okay, Aya. No, hold on. Why are you asking all the questions?
Okay. Ate, have you ever stolen money from me without permission?
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes. If I get shocked, this is like I stole $2. You guys still need to get shocked. Dominic, sit down. Does my mom's frugality annoy you? Her being like practical, cheap. Does it annoy you?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay.
Ooh!
Oh, drama. No, you didn't like that.
Again.
Oh, it's true! Wow, you're too honest!
Your turn now.
You should have
That's
whispered to
it!
stop
And
you.
she's out! And she's out! At the end of the day, it was an amazing night. I spent it surrounded by awesome people, and I think that's the best way to celebrate Christmas. I didn't really capture this beyond that last Fortnite shot, but I played a ton of video games during this vacation. And because Ira has 2 siblings, one younger brother and one older brother, I never played games alone. There was always somebody there, either playing with me or watching me play or playing their own thing right next to me. It was such a nice change of pace, always being surrounded by people. Time flew by as I made last week's video, played a bunch of Smash Brothers, and of course, spent some quality time lounging around. When Sunday came around, we all got up early and started getting ready. This was another one of the traditions of the household. Every Sunday, they get together as a family and go to church. Usually, they all get together, get in a car, and drive there, but these queens took 30 million years getting ready to go to church, so now we have to walk.
Don't say that.
We have to walk.
I woke up really late.
Instead of driving. So like I said earlier, they all try their best to try and make it to church every Sunday. And honestly, I really appreciate this as a tradition, because I personally don't go to church. And it was really cool to get a glimpse of this tight-knit community and listen to some legit wisdom. Like, I was honestly pretty moved by the end. They were talking about how you shouldn't be chasing happiness and instead trying to find fulfillment in life. And honestly, that's true. And it doesn't matter who you are, what religion you follow. I think it applies to everyone. Another part of this Sunday tradition is a family lunch. We decided to have Mongolian hot pot, which was located inside of this cool little Asian mall. This was my very first time having hot pot. If you've never been, you sit down at this table with a big old bowl of broth, and then they give you this piece of paper, which is kind of like a menu, but it's just a list of all the ingredients that you could potentially be throwing into your soup. Then you check all the ingredients that you want, give them the paper, and then they start bringing you all the raw ingredients for the soup. We got a bunch of different kinds of meat and noodles and veggies and mushrooms, and the more things we put in, the more flavor the broth had. I'm not sure if all hot pot places are like this, but this one was all you can eat hot pot. So we kept ordering little by little until our bellies were real full. Afterwards, we wandered around the mall a little bit and decided to order some desserts from this Chinese bakery. Everything in there looked amazing, but we were there for one specific thing.
We're getting buchi.
What is that?
It has red bean paste.
Okay.
It's kind of like a rice cake with sesame seeds.
It doesn't look like much, but those things are so good. Now this last one isn't really a family tradition, but it's more like a sibling tradition. All 3 of them, Ira and both of her siblings, and I mean honestly, myself included, we all love bubble tea. And they just recently discovered this awesome place called Gongcha, so of course we had to stop by. You know, it's interesting. Even going to the store when you're with others is such a fun thing to do. But maybe that's because it's out of the ordinary for me. Like usually I go alone, but once in a while I go with others. So maybe to people who go to the store with others all the time, they want the opposite. To them, going to the store alone is an event. Who knows? Alright, it's time to take these groceries and go home. But speaking of going home. So, I woke up this morning and I was getting ready to pack my bags and start heading towards the bus. And then this lady called me from her work. And what did you tell me?
That we're driving there.
We're driving there. Her friend, who is kind of literally crazy, but not really, she just really likes driving. Her really good friend, her best friend, the best girl in the world.
Don't be dramatic.
She offered to drive us to Seattle from Vancouver. And that's like a 3-hour drive. Okay, she drives really good and really fast, so maybe it'll be a little bit less. But that's amazing. I don't have to take the smelly belt bus, and that's cool. I guess we're gonna turn a mundane garbage bus trip into a sweet adventure.
Road trip.
A road trip. The road trip ended up being pretty uneventful, but it was definitely a chill time. Aaliyah, Ira, and I got to talk about a whole bunch of fun things. And I got to read a whole bunch of manga that Ira had suggested to me. By the time we crossed the border, it was already late, and we were all getting kind of hungry. So we decided to stop by somewhere for a quick dinner.
We are at Cheesecake Factory and we're really hungry, so we're gonna go eat.
We're only about 20 minutes away from home. Doing good, boys.
Cheesecake Factory was too busy, so now we're gonna have lobster.
I've never been to Red Lobster before, but it turned out to be really good. Everyone was really happy, especially Ira with her sweet drink bucket. Dude, that drink looked so much smaller in the picture. We were all kind of shocked. One last thing I'd like to say is thank you, Aaliyah. This was definitely a very unexpected but a very pleasant surprise. You saved me from a whole bunch of pain and suffering, so thank you. I loved my time in Canada. If I could, I'd go back in a heartbeat. At the same time, my productivity was definitely down in the gutter. On my way there, I was planning on studying Japanese every single day, like I do here, and I was planning on jogging every single day, just like I do here. But as soon as I walked through the front door of my girlfriend's house, that all kind of flew right out of the window. We had so many plans and I had so much fun that I've only studied Japanese maybe once or twice the entire time. And I didn't go on any jogs just because I wasn't feeling it. It was a vacation and jogging is like hard work. I did make a video. I made last video entirely in Canada, which I was kind of proud of. That was the very first video that I didn't record and edit in this room. But what was missing during the vacation was any kind of a structure. Like sure, I could start trying to form habits and have a set schedule when I was over in Canada, but that wouldn't make any sense. There wouldn't be any point. I was only there for a week and a half. So having these extended periods of time where I just kind of grind, I kind of have a really set schedule for week after week after week after week is very, very useful for a lot of different things, fitness and language learning included. So at the end of the day, even though I'm not having as much fun as I was on the vacation, both grind time and vacation time are very, very necessary. And both are awesome for their own reasons. And yes, traveling to Canada is great, but I have a lot of plans for the upcoming couple of years, both with this channel and my personal life. And to even begin to accomplish those, I'll need all the grind time that I can get. My 2019 plans are very ambitious, but more on that later. For now, thank you guys so much for traveling with me. I hope you had fun on this trip, and I hope you join me when it continues in the next episode next week. See you guys.